An apartment fire in Crawfordsville proves fatal. What we're learning about a possible cause of that fire this morning.
And temperatures falling into the mid-20s this morning. Finally, a warming trend on tap. I'll have the details.
Also, don't look now, but the Pacers are the hottest team in the NBA coming up. Could they continue their streak against the division rival Chicago Bulls?
From Indiana's news leader, Eyewitness News Sunrise starts now.
And it was another chilly evening overnight in central Indiana, but the winds of change are finally blowing into town. Good morning and welcome to Sunrise on this Saturday. I'm Jeremy Brilliant in for Naomi. Kelly Green is joining me this morning with more on this weekend warm-up, and boy, we deserve it at this point.
We really do. I mean, the past 3 weekends have been snowstormy, and we are just ready for some dry weather and some warmer weather, which we definitely deserve. And we're finally starting to have that push in, and it will be a bit breezy today with winds out of the southwest. Now, you can see from our satellite radar, we've had some clouds moving in, so we'll see a mix of sun and clouds. See those pinks in northern Indiana? That is some freezing rain that's trying to make it to the ground, not actually making it. It's just a weak disturbance that is going to move across the Great Lakes area as we head into the rest of the day today. Going to be dry here at home, though. 25 degrees is the current temperature in Greenwood, 24 in Noblesville, 26 in Lisden, and it's 26 right now in Crawfordsville. Now today we'll see temperatures gradually climbing into the upper 30s to near 40 degrees, and while that's still a few degrees below the average of 48 degrees, it will just feel better, and we'll have a gust or two around around 25 to 30 miles per hour. This afternoon, we'll see a mix of sun and clouds. Winds will be out of the southwest and temperatures will climb to near 40 degrees. This warming trend will continue, and I'll have those details coming up in your full forecast.
All right, thanks so much, Kelly. We're hoping to learn more today about a deadly apartment fire in Crawfordsville. The state fire marshal will continue the investigation at Shady Knoll Apartments today. Sunrise reporter David McAnally says several families lost virtually everything they owned.
Fire crews were on the scene before 5 o'clock tonight and found the fire moving fast through the 8-unit apartment building and threatening an adjoining building. My dog started barking, and I looked out the window, and the entire roof was just engaged in fire. It was way up there. I mean, moving fast? Yeah, it was. Well, you could tell it was moving that way, but the wind was pushing it that way because you could tell by the thick black smoke. But a witness tells Eyewitness News it appeared the fire began somewhere at the back of the building at ground level and moved upward through the attic and burst through, collapsing the roof. Yeah, it was something else. They said that everybody kind of moved back when it began to collapse. So sad, yeah. It was as fire crews tried to knock down the blaze that they discovered a body in one of the units. It's just sad anyway. It's just a sad situation.
David McAnally, Channel 13 Eyewitness News.
And Kevin Cable says he and his neighbors are planning to do something today to help all of those families who were affected. Indianapolis firefighters sent us this video of a business fire on Colorado Avenue that's on the east side. They say the KDC truck, trailer, and bus repair shop sustained $250,000 in damage. 2 firefighters also suffered slight injuries. One was hit in the head by debris. The other was slightly burned. The business employs about 55 people. It's not clear if that business will be able to operate at this point. A police chase suspect is apologizing for hitting other cars before police stopped him at Fall Creek and Central.
Man, I pray to the people that I hit. I pray y'all all right, man. I ain't mean that. I'd rather go to jail.
The chase began just before 8 p.m. last night at 30th and Butler when officers say they tried to make a traffic stop. Police say the suspect may have been involved in an earlier disturbance involving a gun. A man accused of killing a police officer is fighting to be set free. Marion County deputies took Major Davis II to court in a wheelchair yesterday. Davis wore a red jumpsuit indicating he is a high-risk inmate. He is charged in the shooting of Metro Police Officer Perry Wren, who died responding to a disturbance call. During the hearing, Davis argued since the court failed to honor his speedy trial request, legally he should be released. Davis's family says they are not happy with his defense.
It seems that the defense has information that can clear my son's name, but unwilling to represent to the courts. I am concerned that they are working more so with the prosecutor than working for my son.
The judge denied the motion, saying he was being ill-advised on court rules. Davis could face the death penalty for Officer Wren's death. Trial is set for 2017. A Lafayette Schools employee is in jail facing child molestation charges. Police arrested 19-year-old Jose Maria Gonzalez yesterday on molestation and sexual battery charges. Investigators say his victim is a 13-year-old student but does not go to school in the Lafayette district. Prosecutors are requesting a life sentence without parole for the man accused of beating his girlfriend's 3-year-old daughter to death. Freddie Bailey will go on trial in June on murder and neglect charges in the death of Amabel Calderon. Detectives say Bailey confessed to beating the child in the motel room where they were living. The toddler died from head injuries and had bruises all over her body. The girl's mother, Maria Calderon, is charged with neglect resulting in death and admitted knowing Bailey had been abusing her daughter for months. Well, the Indiana Pacers are heading to New York today, winners of their last 4 games, thanks in part to a big win at the Fieldhouse last night against the Chicago Bulls. Solomon Hill led the Pacers to a quick start and poured in a team-high 16 points, but it was the heroics of second-string center Ian Mahinmi, who stepped it up in the 4th quarter and collected a double-double that put the Pacers over the top. They win easily, 98-84, take on the sputtering New York Knicks tonight at Madison Square Garden. And we are seeing more tributes to Reggie Wayne. The Colts wide receiver is being released from the team. An electronic billboard at the State Fairgrounds now has a message honoring number 87. His jersey number is also showing up in lights on Monument Circle at the IPL building. It's a bright reminder of Reggie's contribution to the team and to the entire community. And of course, Reggie was also one of our contributors here on the 13 Sports Jam. He worked very closely with our sports director, Dave Calabro.
Good evening, everybody. It's the tough part of the business in the NFL. The Colts making room for the next generation as they say goodbye to the great number 87. Reggie Wayne's career is over with the Indianapolis Colts. He's been dealing with several injuries that slowed him down last season. After 14 seasons, Reggie has set all kinds of records for the Indianapolis Colts. He set many, many records, but he was more about just winning games. Still no word if he's going to retire or try to play elsewhere, but just last month when we talked to him, he sounded like a guy who still wants to play the game.
There have been a lot of people that say we won't be better than the years before, but each year we find a way to get that next step. Well, now the next step is the Super Bowl, so it's going to be tough, you know. But it's a lot of stuff this year that everybody can learn from. Everybody can take away the good and the bad and get better from, add to.
So the 87 sign is coming down. Free agency starts next Tuesday. It'll be very interesting to see if Reggie Wayne decides to play again or not. At Lucas Oil Stadium, Dave Calabro, Eyewitness News.
And thanks so much, Dave. We compiled some of your thoughts about Reggie Wayne at WTHR.com. There's also a slideshow of some of his greatest moments. Feel free to share your memories on our homepage. It is kind of a bittersweet moment there. I guess the Colts feel like they have to do it, but a lot of people are very sad about this.
It is very sad. He's been such a wonderful ambassador for our city.
Absolutely, yep. Well, we are looking forward to a warm-up, so there's certainly some good news finally in the weather department.
Right, exactly, and thank goodness it's happening over the weekend since the last 3 weekends have been snowy. We'll have a few more clouds in today. Temperatures finally warming up. Starting today, a gradual warming trend kicks in. I'll have the details.
And it was a dark day in our nation's history, but one that was necessary to effect change. Coming up, how the country is marking the 50th anniversary of Bloody Sunday and the March on Selma. Also, it may be a rough go on the roads with potholes popping up everywhere. Still ahead, we're going to tell you how the city is trying to fix that problem. A solemn anniversary. Today marks the 50th anniversary of the March on Selma. A half-century ago, a peaceful march turned violent as demonstrators fighting for civil rights were ambushed by police officers attempting to stop the protest. It was the flashpoint that led to the passage of the Voting Rights Act. As we take a live look there at Selma, Alabama, the bill that gave African Americans the right to vote. And again, taking a live look at Selma and the famous Edmund Pettus Bridge there this morning, the president and several members of Congress are expected to attend a ceremony there later today. And while that moment in history will be celebrated, the fight against racial discrimination continues. More reform appears to be, though, coming to Ferguson, Missouri Police Department after a scathing report from the Department of Justice. That report alleges a pattern of racial bias among the department. So far, 2 officials have already resigned and a 3rd has been fired. With a population of just over 20,000, Ferguson is the smallest town the DOJ has investigated, and with both the police and the court system under scrutiny, many worry about the town's future.
What does it mean to this town to have this hanging over it now?
Well, it means economic development slows down. It might cause some residents to relocate out of Ferguson.
Ferguson's leaders say they'll cooperate with the DOJ, but they've not yet signed a legally binding agreement. Actor Harrison Ford remains in the hospital but is expected to make a full recovery after crash landing in a private vintage plane. Cell phone video captured the scary moments of the engine failure. Ford began to lose altitude in the World War II plane just moments after takeoff. He acted very quickly, though. As the single-engine plane began falling, Ford clipped a tree and slid the plane onto a golf course just feet away from homes and the Santa Monica airport. Golfers scrambled to pull Ford from the wreckage. The 72-year-old veteran pilot had surgery for a broken pelvis and ankle. A year ago tomorrow, Malaysia Flight 370 disappeared over the China Sea. The aircraft, which was carrying 239 people, was on its way from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing when it disappeared from radar. Crews have been searching far and wide ever since. A Malaysia transportation official says that if the plane has not been found by the end of May, countries will re-examine the data that they currently have. Well, warmer temperatures are on the way to central Indiana, and that means DPW will start trying to fix all of the damage the cold weather did to Indy's roads. The city is getting its pothole repairs in gear. Between 10 and 15 crews will be working every weekday to fill pothole service requests from the public. According to DPW, they've already patched more than 2,000 potholes. Well, if you have a pothole that needs filling, you can also call the Mayor's Action Center at 317-327-4622 or use the Indy Pothole Viewer. You can see here we've got a link on our website at WTHR.com. Just look under Hot Topics. Hi, Kelly. How you doing?
Hi, Jeremy. Good morning.
Well,
Thanks for being in with us.
And if you ever find yourself hating the winter weather, just think of this. Some animals were caught playing in the snow at the Memphis Zoo this week. This is Yaya, the giant panda. One of the zookeepers caught her enjoying the snow. The keeper also caught the zoo's polar bear, Peyton, having some fun in the white stuff. Naturally, why wouldn't you roll around in it?
So cute.
Just, yeah, so cute until you're walking up on that polar bear and that polar bear is hungry.
Fair enough.
Then not so cute, but cute to watch nonetheless.
Yes, from a distance.
And it's good to see that snow somewhere else. Of course, we've got a lot of it here, but it's going to be melting here.
Yes, that is definitely some good news. We are going to see some melting as temperatures finally climb and stay above the freezing mark for several days into our 7-day forecast, which I'll get to in just a moment. But it is a pretty quiet start this morning all across central Indiana. We've had some clouds that have moved in. We do have a weak disturbance that's moving across the Great Lakes area. You can see some of those pinks. That's the possibility of some freezing rain, not quite making it to the ground yet, but likely just going to be pretty quiet all across northern Indiana, including central Indiana. It's currently 26 degrees in Broad Ripple, 27 in Cicero, 26 degrees in Greenwood, 21 in Shelbyville. It is currently 22 in Marion, 27 in Greencastle, and 26 degrees in Bloomington. So pretty mild start from what we've had, and certainly near normal for this time of year finally. We do have a few clouds that have been moving in, and winds are out of the south-southwest. The air temperature at 25 degrees, but it feels like it is actually 15. So we'll have a bit of a wind chill throughout the day today as temperatures climb into the upper 30s and low 40s this afternoon. A few clouds this morning, then we'll start to see a little bit of a clearing later on this afternoon as that disturbance across the Great Lakes moves on out of here. So temperatures today climbing to around 40 degrees. Winds will be out of the south-southwest. likely from 10 to 15 miles per hour, but we still have the potential of a 20 to 25 mile per hour wind gusts. And forecast highs today across central Indiana around 29 degrees in Muncie, 40 in North Vernon, 37 the high in Peru, 41 in Greencastle, and 41 the high in Bedford. Now, as we head into the evening hours, you'll want to turn your clocks forward, that is, as daylight saving time begins. You'll also want to change your batteries out in your smoke detectors as well as your carbon monoxide detectors. That actually officially happens tomorrow morning at 2 a.m. So just a good idea to do it before you go to bed. 24 is our low for tonight, a few degrees below normal, but nonetheless still finally getting a little bit where we should be for this time of year. Now tomorrow, another nice day. Temperatures will climb into the low 40s with light breezes out of the west tomorrow. Here's our look at our highs all across central Indiana with a high of 41 in Noblesville, 43 in Lafayette, 43 degrees the high in Greencastle, and 42 in Richmond. Now looking out towards next week, we do have a weak disturbance that could just clip southern Indiana at this point on Tuesday, but at this point it does look like it should be dry across central Indiana, but that is something we're going to continue to watch out for. But other than that, we are going to be in a very dry pattern as well as a warming trend. Take a look at your 7-day forecast here. Temperatures this afternoon climbing to 40 degrees, temperatures fall to 24, and then we climb to 42 degrees. And then as we head into the week, you can see temperatures climb into the mid 40s by Monday, a couple degrees below average, but we finally climb above average for the rest of the work week. We do have a chance of some rain on Friday, and that's something we'll continue to monitor for you as well. Jeremy?
All right, thanks so much, Kelly. New on Sunrise families were evacuated from their homes this morning after a fire broke out on the city's near south side. A fire broke out just after 4 this morning at a vacant home near the intersection of Adler and Talbot. The cause of the fire is still unknown, but neighbors said that squatters were seen going in and out of the home several times. Families were evacuated as flames reached 2 houses nearby, damaging those homes' exteriors. Well, giving people a creative outlet and unlocking hidden talent. Still ahead on Sunrise, how a local studio is bringing art into Hoosier lives with connecting them with their community. Also, a sacrifice worth making, while a few seconds in icy cold water today will have a life-changing effect on local children with special needs. Central Indiana's art community is thriving and local artists are growing at the Harrison Center for the Arts. Here's Nicole Masinsic with more on how the Harrison Center is fostering our city's creativity.
Inside the Harrison Center for the Arts, you'll find 36 artist studios, 4 galleries, and art that changes monthly.
I think a city that is thriving is a city where the arts are alive and growing and people are engaging.
The Harrison Center is committed to fostering that environment, allowing artists to cultivate their craft.
We provide our artists with subsidized studio spaces, so we raise money to help keep their rent down low so they can focus on creating art and not have to worry about paying the bills.
One of those artists is Kate Oberreich, a local painter and Ball State graduate whose work is being shown in one of the galleries.
It allows me to completely separate my day job, which I do have a full-time job as well as being a full-time artist. I can separate that and I can completely concentrate on a painting or a project.
Kate paints in series, and this group of work is titled Dreams About Flying.
And that came out of the idea of the paper airplane, sort of as a metaphor for communication and what dreams tell us. Everybody's had that dream about flying or falling, and so I'm grabbing on to that a little bit. It's a lot of paper airplanes, it's a lot of bird cages, it's a lot of anatomical hearts.
Chances are you've seen Kate's work before. She created commissioned pieces for the movie The Fault in Our Stars. Look closely, those are her creations hanging on the wall. Far from a Hollywood set in her own studio, each piece and symbol means something to Kate, but she likes to hear what you see in her work.
They tend to symbolize specific things to me, but as I talk to more people, they symbolize other things for them. We all bring our own stories to the paintings.
Sinsic reporting. You can see Kate's work along with other local artists during the first Friday exhibition at the Harrison Center for the Arts. That's located at 15th and Delaware, and that is starting tonight. We have more about connecting with the community at WTHR.com. Well, it might be a better day to do this with temperatures climbing into the 40s, just slightly better. We're talking about the last polar plunge event of the year here in central Indiana. Take a look at some video from an earlier plunge. Today's takes place at Eagle Creek Park, and once again it will benefit the Special Olympics. This is the largest fundraising event for the organization this season. Registration begins at 8. Early bird jumpers hit the water at 8:30, and costume divers show up at 9:45. The event closes with the Champions Together plunge at 12:30. Well, it's still a few months away, but aspiring runners will be out preparing for the 500 Festival Mini Marathon this morning. 500 Festival 6-miler is the second in a series of 3 races, all geared toward getting runners ready for the big race happening on May 3rd. Registration begins in just a few minutes. The cost is $25. And we will soon see runners gathering here outside the NCAA Hall of Fame champions. That's where the race kicks off again at 8 o'clock this morning. You can kind of see downtown there, the JW Marriott and that area of White River State Park. They are resting at IUPUI this morning after dancing for 12 straight hours. The school's dance marathon, or Jagathon, kicked off at 6 p.m. last night inside the jungle at the Natatorium. It wrapped up just a few minutes ago, and their charitable goal was to raise $100,000. We have just learned breaking news, $100,944, surpassing their goal. All of that, of course, will go to Riley Children's Hospital. Well, 50 years ago, a group of protesters marched through Selma, Alabama, and stepped into the history books. Coming up, how their fight is being remembered today.
And temperatures have fallen into the mid-20s across central Indiana. It's 24 in Nineveh, 26 in Kokomo, and 27 right now in Lafayette. A decent warming trend on track and a dry weekend. Also, all those details coming up in your SkyTrack 13 forecast.
Remembering Selma now on Sunrise, several Hoosiers are there for today's 50th anniversary, while many more are here at home. I'm Matt McCutcheon with what those people are doing here today in Indianapolis to remember this anniversary.
Also, a problem affecting far too many people hits Ball State University. Identity thieves make off with thousands of tax dollars. We're going to tell you who was hit coming up.
And temperatures are running a few degrees below average this morning, but we're finally going to see a warming trend kicking in. I'll have the details coming up on Sunrise.
From Indiana's news leader, Eyewitness News at Sunrise continues.
And good morning. Welcome to Sunrise on this Saturday, March 7th. I'm Jeremy Brilliant in for Naomi along with Kelly Green. And you mentioned it is a little bit chilly out there right now, yes, but it's the future hours that we're looking forward to, future days.
Exactly. It's going to feel more spring-like, which is amazing. Yes. Since the last 3 weekends in a row we've had winter weather, and definitely we need a break from that, and we are going to enjoy that as we head into the later hours throughout the next several days. That actually is so we are going to continue to see a dry day today. The clouds have been moving in across central Indiana. We do have a weak disturbance. It's trying to bring a little bit of freezing rain across extreme northern Indiana, but it is just evaporating before it actually hits the surface. It's currently 27 degrees on the southwest side of Indianapolis. It's 19 in Pendleton, 21 in Fairland, and 23 degrees right now in Columbus. And we do have a quiet day in store. Few clouds will be around mainly this morning as that disturbance continues to move on out of here. But notice temperatures will be climbing into the upper 30s and low 40s this afternoon. And we'll see temperatures climbing to near 40 degrees in Indianapolis. Winds will be a bit breezy out of the southwest from 10 to 15 miles per hour. We still could have some wind chill values in the low 20s today. Also tonight, we do spring forward. Daylight saving time begins at 2 a.m. tomorrow morning. Always a good idea to just go ahead and change your clocks ahead of time tonight before you go to bed. All more details about your 7-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Jeremy?
All right. Thanks so much, Kelly. The town of Selma, Alabama is quiet this morning, but in just a few hours, thousands of people from across the country are expected to arrive to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the Civil Rights March there. Hoosiers are marking the anniversary with a special march through downtown Indianapolis. And Sunrise reporter Matt McCutcheon joins us from outside the State House where today's march ends. Matt?
Several Hoosiers, of course, are in Selma this morning, while many more will be here at home, and dozens are expected to begin their walk at the Light of the World Christian Church along Michigan Road and make their trek right here to the State House for a peaceful walk and remembrance. It starts here at 12 noon. Of course, this remembers the 50th anniversary of everything that unfolded in what's been called Bloody Sunday back in 1965. That's when nearly 600 people marched for things like voter rights down in Selma, which turned very violent. Today, they say here in Indiana, it's all about remembering this poignant anniversary and coming together for a peaceful remembrance.
We will disperse from here and we'll walk all the way down a straight shot to the State House, about 5 miles. So put on some comfortable shoes. But remember, we're walking 5 miles and they walked 51 miles in 1965.
There will also be a voter registration event at the church to really sort of pay homage to the events that were being so hard fought for, the basic civil rights movement back then in 1965. And there will be a bus to take everyone back here from the State House to the church, that 5-mile walk, which sounds like it will be a little bit of a chilly one today. Now, also in Selma, Representative Andre Carson is there along with dozens of others. And of course, we'll keep you updated all day long on the events happening there for this poignant anniversary. Reporting live, Matt McCutcheon, Channel 13 Eyewitness News.
All right, thanks so much, Matt. At the end of that 5-mile walk there. The president is also heading to Selma this morning along with several lawmakers from Washington, D.C. They will all participate in the Jubilee celebration happening there this afternoon. White House officials say the trip will also highlight the upcoming 50th anniversary of the signing of the Voting Rights Act. And speaking of voting, if you want a voice in this year's mayoral primary, the deadline to register is fast approaching. Voter registration will remain open through April 6th. If you've moved, gotten married, and had to change your name, you do need to update your registration. Voters can register for the first time or update the registration by going to indianavoters.com. Identity thieves have struck Ball State, stealing dozens of employees' tax refunds. University and other state workers are particularly vulnerable to these types of attacks because often their names, titles, and salaries are public records and easily found on the internet. A Ball State website offering help and information prompted calls from 200 employees. Dave Matthews was one of those impacted.
You don't think it's going to happen to you, and then lo and behold, bingo, it does. It's cumbersome, it's tiresome.
Is it scary?
It is scary because you just don't know what's going to happen in the future.
Matthews has frozen his credit, notified his bank, the IRS, the FTC, local police, and Indiana's Attorney General. And across the state at Purdue University, dozens of students say they're victims of credit fraud as well. The problem began several months ago. At least 30 people, all international students from China, are affected. They say the stolen money exceeds $100,000. And you might want to take a little nap this afternoon because we are losing an hour overnight. Daylight saving time will begin at 2 a.m. tomorrow morning, so be sure to not forget to set your clocks forward 1 hour. And because of the time change, the Indiana Alcohol and Tobacco Commission is allowing alcohol sales to go until 4 a.m. Sunday morning. This is so alcohol sales will last as long as they normally do on Sunday mornings. And as you change your clocks, you are also urged to change the batteries in your smoke alarms, carbon monoxide detectors. It is something you should do once a year, and if you do it at the beginning of daylight saving, it'll be easier to remember when they need to be replaced in the future. Smoke alarms and carbon monoxide detectors should also be tested once a month to make sure they are working properly. So if you've recently changed the batteries, still give those alarms a test. And Severe Weather Preparedness Week is coming up, and today emergency workers will teach a class on how to spot a coming storm. The class is at the Newcastle Henry County Public Library inside the auditorium. The course will go over identifying potential severe weather features, fundamentals of storm structure, and how to report information. This starts at 1 p.m. is expected to go until about 4. Again, that is happening in Newcastle. It's hard to believe we're talking about severe weather when we've still got quite a bit of snow on the ground.
Absolutely. That's such a great program to really participate in. If you are a weather lover, that's a good one because we definitely like to have people out being able to report back on what's going on out there. So we're not talking about any kind of severe weather, not in the next 7 days. That is definitely some positive news, but we are talking about a warming trend. Temperatures right now at 25 degrees in Greenwood, it's 25 in Noblesville, 26 in Crawfordsville, and 20 in Strawn. All of the details about that warm up coming up in your SkyTrack 13 forecast.
And still ahead on trending, a man takes a full year to propose to his girlfriend. We'll tell you how it all came together and, of course, if she said yes. It's coming up next.
Hey, it's Operation Basketball, the last big show of the year. The Triton Central Cheerleaders are here, and I'm giving away the Spirit Award. Stay with us for the sectional semifinals.
and welcome back to Sunrise. On to what is trending this morning.
Well, when it comes to candidates for Song of the Year, there is only one real frontrunner, Bruno Mars, Uptown Funk. I love this song. There have been many covers, but this one might be the wackiest.
Girl sent she hallelujah. Oh. Girl sent she hallelujah. Oh. Girl sent she hallelujah. Oh no. 'Cause Uptown Funk go give it to ya. Giggity. 'Cause Uptown Funk go give it to ya. 'Cause Uptown Funk go give it to ya. Saturday night we in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch.
All right.
Well,
I haven't heard this one. Have you heard it?
No,
Okay.
I haven't. I do the version, the original version, when I teach my Zumba class, so I have never heard this one.
You could sing it like this if you want to. You could try.
Evidently. I guess Mark Bronson has become quite famous with his ability to do a variety of cartoon voices. Here he uses that talent to create his own unique version of Uptown Funk. More than 3 million people have already seen this.
All right, and this one is pretty amazing. An elaborate wedding proposal is all the talk on social media this morning.
I haven't seen this. I'm looking forward to seeing this one.
Take a look.
Today is the day that I decided that I want to spend the rest of my life with you.
All right. On the surface, it seems pretty normal, right? But take a closer look at this. See the numbers on the upper left-hand side of your screen? That was taped a year ago, and the guy named Dean knew that he wanted to marry Jennifer soon after they met. He felt the time was a little too soon, so he started his proposal a year in advance, filling himself every day for 365 days with his short proposal message. Fast forward a year, and during a family trip to Aruba, Dean was able to surprise Jennifer on the beach, presenting her with the video and finally popping the question for real, and she said
yes.
Of course.
Thank goodness. Why not?
So what do you think about that? Every day for a year.
That is incredible. I mean, obviously that's very unique.
Yeah.
And for him to have planned it so far out, I think that's really cool.
And the thing that's amazing to me is, like, one of those days, didn't they have a fight and he was like, I don't know if I want to do this, but he still taped the message. I guess.
Yeah.
Dedicated.
Good stuff.
All
I
right.
love it.
A good beginning and hopefully a happy marriage to them. And a nice warm up here.
Finally,
Yes.
I mean, the last 3 weekends in a row, we are tracking, severe winter weather. We had winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories. We're not talking about any of those kind of headlines today. It's going to be a dry day today. We do have some clouds that have moved overhead. A weak disturbance is moving across the Great Lakes, just a little clipper system, but it's just bringing a few clouds across central Indiana. Temperatures right now, 27 degrees in Zionsville. It's 24 in Anderson, 22 in Shelbyville, and 26 degrees in Mooresville. It's 24 in Crawfordsville, 26 in Bloomington, 25 in Bloomington, and 24 right now in Marion. Now we have had a few clouds and the winds are starting to pick up, but notice they're out of the south-southwest right now at 10 miles per hour. Air temperature at 25 and the wind chill value making it feel like it's 15. So there's a bit of a bite to the air today, but temperatures will be climbing into the upper 30s and low 40s across central Indiana. Notice future track actually thins out the clouds quite a bit this afternoon. So once that clipper system moves on out of here, we'll see some sunshine. So temperatures will climb to 40 degrees this afternoon and it will be a bit breezy. We may have a gust or two around 20 to 25 miles per hour. Highs top out around 39 degrees in Muncie, 40 in Richmond, 39 degrees in Lafayette, 41 the high in Greencastle, and 41 in Bedford. A little bit more snowpack down there. Daylight saving time begins tomorrow morning, so you want to turn your clocks ahead 1 hour. And the best bet is to do that tonight before you go to bed. Also changing your batteries and your smoke detectors as well as those carbon monoxide detectors. Tonight it'll be a pretty quiet overnight, partly cloudy, below normal temperatures with temperatures falling around 24 degrees. But then we have a nice rebound tomorrow afternoon. High of 42 degrees with winds starting to shift out of the west tomorrow, and highs will top out around 41 degrees in Muncie, 44 in North Vernon, 43 in Greencastle, and 43 degrees in Lafayette. Now we are tracking a warming trend and we are going to see much warmer air mass moving into the area by Wednesday on into Thursday afternoon. So temperatures will be climbing well above average, which we have not seen in quite a while. So today we'll see a high near 40 degrees. Temperatures fall to 24. High of 42 on Sunday afternoon. As we start off the work week, believe it or not, Monday will still be a few degrees below average with a high of 46 degrees, but we are trying to mainly dry work week. Small chance of some rain on Tuesday. We'll keep it out of the forecast right now, but something we'll continue to monitor for you. And notice The 50s finally make it back into our 7-day forecast. We do have a chance of rain on Friday. Jeremy?
All right, thanks so much, Kelly. Weekend Sunrise at the Movies takes a look at what's new in theaters each Saturday. Here's Raphael Seth.
A thinking robot could be the end of mankind.
It's Man vs. Machine in Chappie. This Neil Blomkamp film takes place in a near future patrolled by oppressive robocops. But when one of the droids is stolen and reprogrammed by Dev Patel, it turns the tin soldier into a thinking, feeling being. Chappie is rated R.
A most valuable precaution.
It's a double Dev weekend at the second best exotic Marigold Hotel. Dev Patel is here as well as the eager innkeeper hosting an all-star cast of retired expats. But when Richard Gere is added to an already full house, it may be time to open another inn. The second best exotic Marigold Hotel is rated PG.
The good news is we nailed a big deal and we're traveling to Germany to shake on it.
The bad news is Sienna Miller is trying to steal their deal in unfinished business. Vince Vaughn's been downsized by Miller and has a make-or-break pact in place for his fledgling company, but his ex-boss is not the only obstacle standing in his way. Unfinished business is rated R.
You know that what you're doing is completely stupid.
Anthony Hopkins is a hostile hostage in kidnapping Mr. Heineken. This true story follows a group of friends as they abduct the heir to a beer empire and wait out his clever tricks to a record payday. Kidnapping Mr. Heineken is in select theaters and on demand. That's the box office preview. Raphael Seth, NBC News.
Operation Basketball on Eyewitness News is brought to you by Reed Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, Ray Skillman Automotive, and powered by the IHSAA.
Go time!
Hey, good morning. Welcome to the final big edition of Operation Basketball. The Triton Central Cheerleaders are here this morning, and we're going to announce the winner of the Spirit Award. But let's first get to the highlights from the sectional semifinals. Packed house on the south side at Perry Meridian to see top-ranked Southport. Fourth quarter, super sophomore Paul Scruggs for Southport. The fadeaway jumper gets the friendly roll, and then Malik Bennett goes to work with the long three. Bennett scored 21 points for the Cards, and Southport beats Ben Davis 42-25. The Pike Red Devils taking on the host school Perry Meridian in game 2. Another team, or another Teague that is, with this nice slam. What a play there for Tajay Teague. And Perry Meridian's Dylan Windler drives. He'll go to the rim, not the jam, but a nice play nonetheless. But Pike pulls away in this one for a 67-40 win. The Red Devils will take on Southport in tonight's sectional final there at Perry Meridian. Great game at the Carmel sectional last night. Lucas Wayner knocks down a corner three ball for Fishers. This game went not one, but 2 overtimes. Ethan Merriweather on the drive for Carmel. What a great atmosphere up there. And Fishers upset North Central Tuesday night. How about another upset Friday night? No, would not be, as Carmel wins 56-48. And in game 2 there, Derek Smith scoring down low for Zionsville. The Eagles taking on Hamilton Southeastern. Zach Gunn working inside for the Royals. He gets the bounce and it goes down. Hamilton Southeastern wins 42-38, so the Royals will take on Carmel tonight for the sectional crown. All right, the Triton Central Cheerleaders ready to perform in just a moment, but we've got a great sectional down the road at Shortridge. Top 3 teams in Class 2A.
You know, we love this, man. We're going to come out here and have fun, man. We're going to play great Hornet basketball tonight.
Neighborhood rivals Howe and Cecina are less than 1.5 miles apart on Indy's east side.
1, 2, 3.
6'8" Gary Bonds is back for Cecina and making a big impact. 21 points, most right around the basket. Howe's Harris Brown does most of his work outside. 19 of his 29 points came in the third quarter. Great matchup, great game. Tied in the final minute, Cecina drains the clock, and then Zach Rutland drains the drive. Still time for Howe. The three-pointer from Brian Warren rattles out. The Hornets won the City Tourney Championship. The Crusaders take the State Tourney rematch, 63-61. Top-ranked Park Tudor has won 3 of the last 4 state championships in Class 2A. The Panthers quickly took control against outmatched Heritage Christian. Evan Frank makes the post move for a double-digit lead in the first half. Park Tudor wins 54-35 and faces Cecina Saturday for the sectional championship. And our final performance this school year, the cheerleaders from Fairland in Shelby County welcome Triton Central, the cheerleaders of the week. Ladies, go ahead. I like that. We've got one more sectional stop this morning. Let's go to the Lawrence Central sectional where Tech takes on Cathedral. Aaron Gordon knocks down the corner three-pointer for the Irish. CJ Walker scored 34 points last night for Tech. There he gets the drive, the basket, and the foul. Tech wins 74-72 in double overtime, and the Titans will face Lawrence North for the sectional title. All right, the Operation Basketball Executive Committee has counted the votes and made its decision. We appreciate all the enthusiasm, the sportsmanship, and crazy student fanatics this season. And I have the honor of announcing this year's Spirit Award winner. If you missed it last night, the winner is Hamilton Southeastern. The Operation Basketball Committee impressed by the effort of the Blue Crew, both at home but also on the road. Hamilton Southeastern brought it. Hamilton Southeastern wins the Spirit Award. Sports Director Dave Calabro will visit your school soon to deliver the big prize. All right, special thanks to Triton Central. Thanks, ladies, for being here. Wave goodbye. And Hamilton Southeastern, this is coming your way. Have a good morning.
All right, thanks so much, Rich. And in high school basketball today, there will be 4 girls' state championship games at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Lafayette Central Catholic and Bar Reeve tip off at 10:30. Canterbury and Heritage Christian play at 12:45. Tippecanoe Valley and Princeton at 6, and Homestead and Columbus North play at 8:15. Following another week of intense cold, some warmer air is coming into our area. Taking a live look at downtown Indianapolis, you might even be able to put on a lighter coat, at least later in this week. And Kelly's going to have details coming up in her final look at weather. Well, finally, we have some good news in the weather department. A warm up today, which we're going to feel, but I mean, later this or next week, it's going to be incredible.
Yes, I mean, we're talking about 50s, close to 60 degrees, well above average. We've been running well below average. So finally, nice to see some temperatures climbing, feeling more spring-like. 27 degrees on the southwest side right now, 25 in Noblesville. It's 22 in Waldron. And here's a look at some wider forecasts here at 27 degrees in Lafayette, 25 in Seymour, and 23 right now in Greensburg. And a live look from our Sharpsville camera, starting to see a few clouds and the clouds breaking through with some sunshine as the sun rises. This afternoon, we'll see a high near 40 degrees, still below the average of 48 degrees with a mix of sun and clouds. Winds will be out of the southwest, so that will allow temperatures to climb, but we'll still have a bit of a bite to the air this afternoon with wind chill values still running in the low to mid 20s. Later on tomorrow, we'll see a high of 42 degrees, and the gradual warming trend continues as we head into Monday, high of 46 and sunny. Small chance of some rain on Tuesday. That's something we'll continue to monitor for you, but we're talking temperatures climbing back into the mid 50s as we head into the middle of the week.
It's about time.
Yes.
Thanks, Kelly. We're going to be back in 1 hour. The Today Show starts right now with updates throughout the morning at WTHR.com.